I just spent hundreds of dollars testing and comparing every AI SEO writer I could find. And the results were not what I expected. You'd be wasting your money. I can't believe people actually pay for this. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be diving deep into the world of AI SEO writers. You've probably seen the ads out there. Rank first on Google, 10x your content with AI, beat your competition. Well, today we're going to find out exactly how. But here's the thing. Most reviews out there are just affiliates trying to make a quick buck. They haven't actually tried and tested these products or used them in their own business. So today I thought I'd put my money where my mouth is. So today we're going to be going through over 30 different AI writers to find out exactly which one of them performs the best for SEO. Each one of these writers gets tested with the exact same brief, tracking 3 different levels of competition keywords and scoring them inside a content optimizer, along with a readability test and a final score based on criteria which I'll go through in just a moment. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which AI SEO writers are worth your money and which ones are just, well, so next let's take a look at the plan. Okay guys, so let's get into it. So I just want to give you an overview of the process of how to actually test these AI writers and also some of the factors that I'm looking out for or what I want to see from an AI writer myself that could be useful if you are planning to use AI writers for SEO, which you absolutely should be, by the way. So what we're going to do is we've got a copy of my results here, and as you can see we score 3 different articles and we also score 3 different readability tests. We give them an average and we also have factored in my kind of personal opinion as well. We can see all the writers are graded here and this is in order, so I'll be revealing the names as we go along. But essentially what we're doing is we're testing 3 different levels of competition keywords and then using a tool called Neuron Writer, which is a really good content optimizer, guys, to assess the SEO score. So we're just simply pasting the articles straight from the AI writers into Neuron Writer with absolutely no editing whatsoever, just complete fairness to see exactly what scores they get out of the box. And then we're also pasting them into Hemingway to find out what the readability score is. And of course, I'm reading the articles myself too and just finding out in terms of being a human being, how the articles read, is there any AI buzzwords, repetition and things like that. So those are the tests. My personal score is a combination of factors. How usable is the platform? How friendly is the UX? How easy was it to get up and running and started? Of course, the readability of the content. You know, if I see an article that starts off with, in today's digital landscape or in today's digital world, okay, it's surefire telltale sign that it's AI written, and I don't really want to be seeing that human-like output. Of course, price. Now, price is something that I don't really talk about too much in the reviews because I think, first of all, price is subjective, but also the majority of these writers are in the same kind of bracket. If there is an outlier, for example, something's really expensive or something's very cheap, I will, of course, mention that and factor that in. And then any additional features such as agency-specific features that would be good for like team collaboration, reporting, given to clients, etc., auto-blogging, that type of thing, okay? Just any nice extra bells and whistles. Of course, I'll be touching upon these points during the review. It's worth noting that you may or may not be watching the longer or shorter version of the video. There's going to be 2 versions of this video out there, guys. There's going to be one where I kind of just do an overview, and there's going to be one where I go into each tool and actually use them for you to see. So depending on which one you're watching, let me know in the comments below. And just one last thing about the process. So what I'm looking for from an AI SEO writer is this process here. I want the AI writer to do as much of the work as possible with as little manual tuning. Okay, so the process I want to see is I want to see the AI writer take a keyword. I wanted to then do a SERP analysis. So I wanted to parse the top ranking results for this keyword inside Google, inside the search engines, and then create a content outline based off that. The reason this is important is because Google's already ranking these other articles, right? So there's a reason they're ranking. So if you build your outlines based on what's already proven to work, then that's a really, really good start. And it's going to get you better results than if it just created an outline, you know, from here, there, and everywhere, okay? Some of the AI writers do this, the SERP analysis, some of them don't, and there's a big separation in my opinion from the ones that do it to the ones that don't, but you'll find that out. Also, I want the AI writer to add images, videos, external, internal links, basically just do as much of the work as possible, and then of course being able to use the AI itself to actually edit the article after the fact. Again, some of AI writers have this, some don't, okay? And this is one of the reasons I'm doing this video, is because some of the AI writers follow this process, and the ones that do are generally towards the top of the list. The ones that don't are generally towards the bottom, and that's no coincidence, okay? Just one final word before we actually go in and start the rankings from 30 to 1. There were a few AI writers I found which I weren't able or won't be testing in this video. So the first one is, of course, Neuron Writer itself. In the interest of fairness, I wanted to pick a content optimizer and then paste all the articles in here just to be consistent, okay? I could have used Surfer, I could have used Phrase, but I actually really wanted to review those because they're heavyweight players in the game. Neuron Writer is a great content optimizer. In my opinion, it's not so good at actually writing the articles, which is why I thought it was perfect for this test. So no Neuron Writer in today's video. The second one I'm not testing is Content at Scale, now known as Brandwell. The reason being is I'm actually an ex full-time employee of Content at Scale, now known as Brandwell, and in the interest of fairness, probably best leave it out. What I will say is it is one of the best ones for sure, but we won't be looking at that in today's video. ZimWriter. So a lot of people use ZimWriter, and I think it got a lot of traction because it was out for a while on a lifetime deal. I used it about a year ago, maybe 18 months ago, and tested it, and to be honest with you, I wasn't impressed. When I tried to sign up for the platform to do this video, to add it to the list, I wasn't actually able to access it. So ZimWriter, the way you sign up for it is really, really weird. You get it through a course selling platform called Gumroad. I'm not sure why they're selling software through Gumroad, to be honest with you. I didn't know that was a thing. Unfortunately, Gumroad, or the process to actually buy and purchase the platform, it just would not work for me. I think it's because I live in Asia and my bank account's obviously not in Asia, and it had some location issues and just wouldn't verify my card. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to use ZimWriter. I have used it before, and just being honest with you, it would probably be in the bottom half of this list. So in all fairness, I don't think you're missing out on anything, but there we go. The fourth one I'm not able to test is onpage.ai by Traffic Research. So I'm inside the dashboard for this now, and this is kind of like a dummy dashboard with placeholder information. The reason I'm not testing it is because of purely the price. At $250 a month for the minimum plan, and no free trial. It says it has a free trial, but then it takes you into this and you can't actually create any articles. So for me, forking over $250 just to test isn't really working for me. I've heard it's pretty good, but to be honest with you, if you want to go ahead and spend $250 to test it, that's up to you. I have heard, since I recorded the reviews for these videos, they have put some additional pricing plans out there, but it's still really expensive, and well, it's kind of up to you, right? But for me, it was too rich for me for this test today. And the fifth one, which I was a bit disappointed about, is long form AI by SurgeGraph. I just cannot even access the website, let alone access the tool. I get this error every single time, which is really weird. I've tried a couple of different things. Maybe it doesn't like my location out here in Asia. Unfortunate, as I was really looking forward to test this tool, but I just cannot get onto the website. So there you go. So other than that, I think we're good now to actually start the countdown or AI writers and get through each individual one. And if you have any questions for this video, of course, please feel free, losing my words there, to ask or leave a comment in the description below, and I'll try to answer it the best of my ability. But other than that, let's get into it. Yeah, so Copy AI finished at the bottom of my list. I actually only tested it on one article, and the SEO score was so low I just didn't bother testing it for any of the others. I kind of already knew that I wouldn't be using it for any SEO work. So if we go to Copy AI's main page now, they've kind of pivoted, I would say, to a more kind of automation type platform. It's not kind of how it used to be. I mean, just look at the UI, right? Workflows, operating systems, flow library. What's that got to do with AI writing or SEO? It does have a chat, pre-built chat, where you can create long form content, and then you can basically do a prompt. So it's like using a ChatGPT or like using a Claude or something like that. It's just not built for SEO at all. With some further prompting and giving it enough context and information, I think you can get a decent result out of it. But ultimately, if we go back to the process of what I'm looking for from an AI writer, where everything's kind of automated. This doesn't really do it at all. I don't really see any reason to use it over Claude or ChatGPT, certainly, if you're doing AI SEO writing. So for me, I mean, I can put in a simple prompt, create a blog post about search engine optimization, and we can click on this, and we can see it's almost exactly like a ChatGPT, and certainly not as good as Claude. And it's just giving me 484 words back there. So I'd have to go ahead and use some of my Claude prompts or my ChatGPT prompts to get a good result out of this. I'm sure I could, but for me, I just would not use this for my blog or for any kind of SEO, because it's just not built for SEO. It can do it, but it's going to take a lot of work. And for me, some of the AI writers are so strong in the SEO category that I just would not use this at all. So yeah, if we take a look, Copy AI, bottom of the list, scored 39 on the first SEO article I did. The readability was okay, but I just didn't bother doing the rest for it, because why would I? It's not got anything I'm looking for from an AI SEO writer. So there's just no way I would use Copy AI for SEO. So next on the list is a product called Trolley AI, which has been around for a while. It scored very poorly on both SEO tests I did. So for the first article, Sustainable Gardening, 46, not great. And then even worse, 34 for the second article. I didn't even bother doing the third one just because it just wasn't very good. So this is inside Trolley AI, and we can see quite a basic UI, simple to use, I will say that, but just not really a lot of options. For example, so I'll click on the article I generated. So yeah, this is, I mean, look at this introduction here. Very poor. Yeah, the SEO score was pretty bad. I mean, yeah, I don't think it reads great either. And there's just not really a lot of options here. I mean, look, this is not doing the SERP analysis, I don't think. This doesn't create me an SEO outline. I don't see any way to I can add image manually, but there's no auto blogging features. Internal links, external links, YouTube videos. I don't really see any way to do that. So, I mean, 46 and 34 for the second article. I think that's the lowest score of any writer for any article on here. So bad, guys. I just would not use this for SEO whatsoever. You'd be wasting your money. I can't believe people actually pay for this. So next up on the list is Wordplay AI. This finished third to last. It actually got a really good score on the first article, but terrible readability. 15, one of the highest or one of the worst scores on here, which means complicated language, difficult to understand, long, complex sentences. Completely bombed on the next two articles, especially on the best VPN. Pretty bad readability across all. It's the only one on this list I think that has a lifetime deal, and I can pretty much see why. It's just not very good, to be honest with you. I mean, this is the UI, very kind of basic UI. You enter in a keyword, choose your article length. So let me pick one of the keywords here. I had to use two accounts to get it all. So this is kind of what it comes back up with. So this was the VPN article that scored abysmally. And this is just it, guys. So I can't really... Going back to the process of what I'm looking for AI writers, it's not really doing anything of it. This is what you get. Copy as HTML, download as HTML. You can edit it section by section. It's a pretty poor editor, to be honest. It's one of the worst on here. There's just so much better on this list, guys. So unless you have to get a lifetime deal for whatever reason, I just would not use this at all. Just poor SEO scores apart from the first test, but the readability was terrible. And yeah, definitely one of the worst on this list. So unfortunately I cannot recommend Wordplay for SEO. Okay, so next up on the list was Human Writer. Human Writer just scored poorly across the board. 50 SEO score with a 14 readability, terrible. 54 and then 12, and then it did okay on the VPN article, 63. Actually, that's pretty decent. Okay readability, not the best either, but just very, very average, very poor across the board. So Human Writer, It was kind of a weird product, I would say. It's one of those connect your API keys, which I don't really like at all, but it does bring the costs down. But in my opinion, you're paying a monthly fee for a platform already. They should eat the cost, right? You shouldn't have to be doing this. But we can see the cost here very, very cheap per article. But bear in mind, I am paying a monthly fee for this as well, okay? Or you would be if you're on a subscription. So let's go ahead and kind of see one of the articles. Let's do sustainable gardening. Very kind of basic UI, really, really basic UI. So Human Writer kind of markets itself as SEO optimized, right? Human quality articles. Didn't really get that. It's okay. Kind of just very like bog standard editor. Did have the right amount of words. It was okay. I just kind of poor really across the board. There's nothing really in here. I mean, we go back to what the process is. Takes a keyword, does a SERP analysis, creates content outline, adds all the things you want for your blog, and then you can use AI to edit. Well, you certainly can't do most of those things in Human Writer. So unfortunately, I would not recommend this for SEO purposes. Next on the list is Draft Horse AI. So I'd heard quite a bit about Draft Horse, so I'd certainly heard of it before. It scored very well on the first article with poor readability, and then just very poor on the second and third articles. Pretty poor readability, good readability on the third article. Just apart from the first article, it was pretty poor across the board. So what I will say, this is inside Draft Horse. This is it, guys. There's just not much here, right? I was quite surprised at how little there was in here. You have to create a site before you can even start producing articles, which is a bit weird. Let me take a look at this. So this is it. Kind of a weird editor. And it looks okay. You get a featured image at the top. And in terms of editing, here it is. I mean, it's okay. This article scored very well on the SEO. But yeah, apart from that, there just was not really any kind of customization options at all, especially compared to some of the other AI writers. There wasn't really any blogging features. It's not doing SERP analysis, I don't think. There was no outline either. So for me, personally, this way better. I thought this is quite poor, very poor, in fact. The owner of this, Cody, I've seen him online on YouTube and on Twitter. He's very active. He seems like a great guy. He gives lots of business tips away for free. He's actually pivoted, I think, to another product called Swell, which I believe is a lot better. I think it turns podcasts into other forms of content. I just think kind of Draft Horse has been left behind now. Overall, there's just way better on the list. And apart from the first article, the scores were quite poor. It also had, I mean, look, in recent years, yeah, AI for sure. But overall, I would not recommend this for SEO. So next on the list is Jasper AI. So very well known. I think probably the most well known writer on this list. It's been around, since the start, okay? The AI your marketing deserves. So Jasper AI is not really an SEO AI writer. It's more of a generative AI that does lots of different types of AI writing. So generative AI, marketing tasks, social media, email, newsletters, all that kind of thing, right? So it scored very well on the first article with actually a good readability. Not so well on the second article, but also had good readability, and a bit better on the third article, actually decent enough. And also good readability. So there was no problem in terms of the readability from Jasper at all, which is what you would expect from a seasoned generative AI platform. What I will say is that I reviewed Jasper a long time ago, probably a year and a half ago now, and it was just utter trash at SEO. I fully expected to be bottom of this list when I did this test, and it was quite surprising actually. Now, unfortunately, I cannot show you inside Jasper because they've cancelled my account. So my $49 subscription actually, when I did the tests, has now unfortunately revoked. So I was going to pay $49, but I thought just to show you inside, it's a bit much. But what Jasper did well is it actually, to my surprise, did a content outline which you were able to edit, and you could also add images, but there were SEO things that were lacking. For example, there was no additional SEO features, definitely no linking, no auto blocking or that kind of thing. But then again, it's not really built for it. The reason I'm going to say not recommended for Jasper, even though I was kind of pleasantly surprised and it was a really smooth experience. I kind of wish I could show you it. But 1 out of 30 is not bad, right? That we're reviewing, that I'm not gonna show. It's just lacks general SEO stuff, and there's just a lot better on the list as well. But in terms of the first article and the readability of the content, it was fine. So if you were part of I would say a social media agency, and you need a writer that does multiple different things, then Jasper you might consider, or you might already be using it. But in terms of SEO, blogging, niche sites, part of an SEO agency, then no, I would not use Jasper or recommend it for SEO. Next on the list is Yazo AI. So I was completely unfamiliar with Yazo. It's one of the tools I found when I was basically searching for the ones I didn't know about. Found it on Google, create SEO optimized content with AI. So I actually knew nothing about this when I reviewed it. They have an absolutely insane client list. DigitalOcean, Stripe, OpenAI themselves. I mean, those are some pretty big claims, I have to say. Or maybe it's just partners. We work with the best partners. Or maybe that's it. But anyway, Yazo. So okay, so I tested it first. So just because I was getting bored, right, of doing the same articles over and over again, I would switch it up. I would do the second article first and then the third article first, that type of thing, right? So I did the VPN's article first and actually scored decently well, and with a good readability as well. And if we go and take a look inside, so this is the UI, very simple UI. Not really a lot to it, to be honest with you, but you know what, I don't mind that. And you click compose and you go and create an article. So if we go ahead and look at this article here, the best VPN, which did reasonably well, we can, when it loads up, yeah, so we've got the editor here. I love how it's rating its own SEO scores 29%, but obviously Neuron Writer thought it was a lot better. It's one of the reasons why we use the same optimizer for every single thing, right? I noticed when I was doing SERP later on, it was giving its own articles massive scores, but then in Neuron Writer, not still good, but not that good. So the article was okay. It also gave me suggestions on kind of what to do, what to put in. So it's kind of like a content editor, I guess, but just very, very basic. Now, if we go to the dashboard, so this is why I didn't do any other tests, because I just could not get it to produce another article. I kept on running into the same error every single time. So for topic, let's go and do the first article: sustainable gardening tips for beginners, USA English. So this is the flow of how you create the content. And we can import from keyword plan, custom keywords, don't optimize for SEO. Why would we do that? So let's do custom keywords, and of course I want to put in sustainable gardening tips for beginners, because my long tail keyword I want to target. My face out the way. Oops. There we go. Aha, so this is good here. Use top ranking SERP articles. Fantastic. So remember, going back to the process, I want it to create a content outline based on the top ranking SERP articles. Okay, so this is okay. So this is good so far. I'm not going to add any reference URLs in right now just to save a bit of time. But again, this is good so far. Oh, okay. And it looks like we can actually create this article. Amazing. So GPT-4o, yeah, let's use that. And let's do the full Monty. I want it all, okay? So far, so good with this writer. And here's the error I keep on running into. So for whatever reason, I just cannot create another article. I've got the credits, and it just doesn't tell me what the error is. So yeah, I wasn't able to do the full suite of tests with this, unfortunately. I like what it's done so far. Simple and easy to use, kind of no frills, and the article generated was okay. I just think, obviously, without being able to test the platform fully, I can't give a full opinion. But in my opinion, it's kind of, I would say, deserves where it is. The article was decent SEO score, had good readability. I like the fact you can analyze the SERPs, etc. Ultimately, it just lacks a lot of the options that you'll see from some of the future AI writers. So this technically could be a good starting point. It can get better in the future, but I think you're going to need a lot more in here for me to be able to recommend it. In terms of the price for Yazo, yeah, definitely one of the most reasonably priced platforms. So if you are on a really tight budget, then maybe it can be a consideration. Ultimately, you want the platform to work, right? And it's just not working for me. So I would say I would not recommend this for SEO. I think it kind of deserves where it is to be on this leaderboard. However, maybe I'll test it again in the future. Maybe I'll be able to get it to work. Maybe they'll add some additional options and some bells and whistles, etc. But ultimately, no, I would not recommend this. This is far better on the list. So next on the list is PenFriend AI. Definitely one of the weirder entries on here, and it's also another one I couldn't do all the tests for. So again, like Yazoo, it scored reasonably well on the VPN third article and also decent readability as well. Actually scored better than Yazoo. Maybe I sort of switched those places around. But there's a couple of reasons why. So first of all, I can't show you the website because they've let their SSL certificate expire. So this has been working all week, and obviously today they've done that. But the app's working. So definitely one of the weirder options in here, and I'll show you why now. You can create clusters, which is nice. But if we go to the history of like the one article I was able to do. So the reason I did one article is this, okay? So creating clusters is good, right? That's an additional SEO feature that's nice to have, and there's a couple of writers on this list which create clusters really, really well, right? And if you can do it right and they interlink properly automatically, you can just create content for these clusters with these AI writers and just makes things so easy, okay? So this is the article it generated for me, okay? And one of the things I liked about PenFriend is it has this kind of, so I guess their AI is called Penny, and it does kind of suggestions through the article, okay? Give you an example here. Yeah. So this is of what to include in that particular section, okay? Include a comparison chart, blah 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 blah. And okay, so for each section it has, it gives you some suggestions by Penny. So I like this a lot, okay? That was really cool. That was really novel. The reason why I didn't do the additional 2 tests is because it does not have a content editor, so I can't edit this. Crazy. For AI writer, where you can't edit your article, I only found out you're able to copy and paste it somewhere else, okay? It did do the outline, which is a good thing, okay? And from here on out, most of the writers do the outline, right? But to not be able to edit this article, it's just... Yeah, I mean, look, guys, they need to include that, right? So I'm happy to review PenFriend in the future, but they need to get an editor in here for sure, okay? So I put it on 23rd place. It actually did score lower than Yazoo, so maybe I'd switch those around because maybe that's a bit unfair to Yazoo, although the platform didn't work, right? But yeah, I would not be recommending PenFriend or any of the writers on the list so far, for that matter, for SEO purposes. It's just way better out there. So next on the list is Longshot AI. It's a very well-known tool. They have some pretty big clients. Unfortunately, they recently got rid of their free plan, which meant it kicked me out of my account and actually got rid of my articles too when I did the tests. That's unfortunate. If we go to the bottom here, we can say, does Longshot offer a free trial? No, they don't offer a free trial anymore. Well, they used to, and that's what I used. So with these tests, I would pay for them if there's no free trial or free plan, or the free plan doesn't include what I need. If there's a free plan, obviously I'll use that to save a few pennies. So unfortunately, I don't have access to the articles I produce, but I do have my notes and I do have the scores. So Longshot, unfortunately, for the first 2 articles, scored very, very poorly in terms of SEO, and the readability wasn't great either, so it wasn't a good start. It did score very, very well, though, I will say, on the high difficulty VPN article, but the readability on that wasn't, well, in fact, was terrible. So not the best showing for Longshot, which is why it's kind of so far down the board. What I will say, let's go to my notes. So here's what I observed. So it took a while to write the articles and also a while to generate the outlines, although the fact that it was generating the outlines is always a good sign. I had good templates. So Longshot did actually have a nice wide variety of templates for you to use for multiple different purposes. For example, in terms of blogging, you can do things like explainer articles, how-tos, all that kind of stuff, and also templates for things like newsletters or what have you. Did have a free plan, obviously not anymore. There was no intro on the article, which is kind of weird. No table of contents. Does show you as it's writing, which is nice. Gave me back a 3.3k words article when I only asked for a 1.5k article, so that's a bit concerning, although I might have used the wrong article style. Couldn't find a way to automatically add images. Can link, but only by adding a sitemap. Can't copy or paste on the free trial, my god. So I had to find a workaround in the Google Developer Console to be able to actually paste the articles into Neuron Writer and into Hemingway to grade them. So that was interesting. That almost made me pay for it, but I didn't. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with Longshot, to be honest with you. I was kind of expecting more from it, better scores, because overall it is a nice platform to use, and like I said, it has some big clients, and yeah, generally it's well thought of. It just scored poorly in the tests, apart from the third article. The readability wasn't good, because the strength or the level of competition of AI writers out there right now, guys. There's not really a lot of room for error. So some of these scores so far, placements so far, may seem harsh. If you're using one of these tools and you like them, for me, there's just a lot better than Longshot on the list, and you'll kind of see why as we go through the kind of competition is up against. Overall, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't recommend it for SEO. If they got their results better, if the output was better, then yeah, it's definitely something I would consider. Okay, so number 22 on the list, and probably one of the biggest disappointments for me in this entire test, it was auto-blogging AI. So auto-blogging AI is very well known. As the name suggests, it's an auto-blogger, and it's backed by some of the biggest names in SEO, guys. Okay, so some very well-known people here. I mean, and even their kind of intro testimonial is from Julian Goldie, right? So the fact that these people are recommended it means it should be really good. And well, let's get into it, right? So first of all, I was already kind of annoyed with it, with the sign-up process, the fact that it makes you sign up twice, once for your subscription and another one for the platform. And then when I tried to generate an article, it said it had no credits. And that's because I had to go back into my email and find a code and then paste the code into the settings here to get started, okay? I was already a little bit annoyed about that, but look, we can forgive that, right, if the platform is good. It's kind of a strange UI, and what I mean by that, there's no kind of flow to the UX. What I want to see from good software design is, okay, I do something and then next, and it takes me to the next thing, takes me to the next thing, takes me to the next thing, and then finish, like a natural flow. It's kind of all over the place. You'll see what I mean in a second, okay? But let's go to the bread and butter first of all, right? So the SEO scores, first of all. So it had a monster score on the first article, really, really good, okay? 79, I believe it was one of the highest, and it had top 10 scores overall. It didn't do so well on the second article. The 59 was quite poor, and they did reasonably well on the third article for 64. But the reason why it's so low down, well, one of the reasons why it's so low down is that it had by far the worst readability of any of the writers on this list, okay? It had post-grad level on Hemingway app, okay, which is, a really kind of difficult to read technicals language, complicated sentences, complicated structure, okay? And it wasn't just the worst rating for one article. All three were terrible. It was the worst outright in terms of readability. And when I was reading through the articles myself, it was just full of AI buzzwords and dead giveaways, okay? That is one of the reasons why it's marked down so lowly. I was really disappointed with the output. So let's go back to auto-blogging for a second, okay? So I fiddled around with the settings to try and, because when I do these tests, right, guys, I usually do one like straight out of the box, and then I do one with some of the settings, and I do another one with all the settings, okay? Just in the interest of fairness, I try and keep it as consistent as possible, okay? So I turned on the God mode, which is the SERP analysis. So I love that. It does take more credits, but for me, like, that is a really good thing to have. And when we generated the article, so, okay, let's put in another keyword here now, right? Let's just say best dog treats for puppies, okay? And I'm going to leave these, I'm going to turn these on. I'm going to leave this one off for now because I don't think it made that much difference, to be honest with you. Well, it generated a really good SEO score off the bat, so I will say this is worth using. And with I suppose I can use this and put in some options here, but I just want to do it like out of the box, right? Just to kind of show you, right? So we're going to generate an article now like this. And I think, like, usually when I do this, I walk away, I come back, right? And when I came back, I wasn't actually sure what had happened, right? Because it doesn't take you to like another screen, there's no pop-up or anything like that. So I was kind of like, have I done this wrong? So I was doing it again. And then I realized it's this kind of green text here. Article generation in process, okay? I mean, that's quite poor. And the fact that I can't see anything else here, okay? I have to go to another tab, which is here. and then pick which article I tried to produce, right? So I don't know, this one, okay, and this is where I had other ones. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look now at one of the articles, right? So the readability on this was absolutely terrible. Look at this opening here. Sustainable gardening represents a significant approach to cultivating a flourishing ecosystem. Say that again. Yeah, like they really need to work on their output. Okay, so even though like the SEO scores like weren't the worst in the world, the readability of the articles was by far the worst of any writer on this list. So it might be backed by big names in SEO and it might have testimonials here, there, and everywhere. But for me, I could not recommend this for SEO as it stands, and I hope it improves in the future. So next on the list in 21st place is Content Sprout. So Content Sprout's another one I had high hopes for. I actually do really like the website. I think it's a good website. And usually when the UX is good on the website, then it's usually good in the platform as well. Okay. In terms of SEO scores, so I didn't actually complete all the tests with Content Sprout, and I'll tell you why in a second. But it performed pretty well on the first article, but it had really poor readability with a 14 grade, and it read through it as well, and it just wasn't that good. It was okay. So I'll tell you a couple of the reasons why I decided not to continue. So first of all, there wasn't really a lot to it. There wasn't a lot to the platform. I expected, more of more options, more customization, more SEO tools, that type of thing. There wasn't really a lot here. The UI is also kind of weird, right? It doesn't really reflect the website. Like, why is the default view just 3 YouTube videos? Surely this should be a tutorial section, and the actual dashboard should be, create an article, bulk create articles, edit articles, optimize like something like that, right? Kind of weird. But I tell you why I decided not to continue with it. So let's take a look at the article I did produce. We'll go to it here. Yeah, again, so it has got rewrite article options here, and it can also get an AI detection score as well. I'll probably talk about AI detection later on. For me, AI detection right now is a complete non-factor, almost a scam. Like what detects in one AI detector doesn't detect in the other, etc. And unless you have a particularly difficult client who is really like weird about it, then I think you're absolutely fine. So this was the article, okay? So not a bad editor, gives you the word count, gives you the H2s, H3s, etc. Also SEO. So for example here, we can create a table of contents, we can do a frequently asked questions schema, we can do all this kind of stuff here, right? But it doesn't just automatically do it for me, so it's not really an auto blogger in that regard. So also as well, things like images and stuff like that, YouTube videos, I didn't really see a way to do that. So definitely not an auto blogger. But for example, you can do things like the questions, the frequently asked questions, and maybe if I do this, so paste it in there. Okay, so not automatic, but you can get it to it. Okay. Overall, I would just not that good, to be honest with you. Not really a smooth experience. Lacks kind of, the things that I would expect to see here without doing it manually. So for me, it's kind of a non-factor. But the reason I decided not to continue with this is it had by far the absolute worst credit system for any of the writers on this list. Okay, so when I loaded this up, I thought, okay, 1 credit, 1 article. That's usually how the majority of these writers go. Okay, and so I purchased my 3 credits. I bought my plan, and away we went. So what I found with Content Sprout is that one article is not 3 credits. It's not 1 credit. 1 article is, for some reason, 7 credits. Now, I don't know why they picked the number 7. Pick a random number between 1 and 9, right? But yeah, for sure, 7 credits. And even doing the article outline. So I did do the outline, first of all. But even that was 1 credit. So it's quite literally credits for everything. So obviously I had to top up my credits then to get to 7 to do 1 article. And I thought, what, I've seen enough. I know it's not one of the best ones, so I didn't see much point in continuing. Okay, for me, Content Sprout would only be worth it if you were on, at minimum, the $119 a month plan, which makes the credits for 112 credits. So at 7 credits an article, you're looking at a very expensive AI writer here, okay? And simply put, is it worth the expense? The answer is no. So I would not recommend Content Sprout for SEO. There are some platforms on here, which I will review later on, which are very good and justify their high cost, but Content Sprout definitely isn't one of them. So for me, it's a no. So next on the list is the very well-known AnyWord AI. So very much like Jasper and Copy AI, this is a bit of a powerhouse in the AI world. AI that knows what works. Okay, so it's a generative AI, not specifically built for SEO, but for all kinds of manners of AI content generation. Okay, has a big client list for sure, and yeah, you can see from the website. This is definitely a VC-backed company that, big team, big budget, etc. Okay, there was actually quite a bit to like about AnyWord, to be honest with you, and to be fair, I like Jasper as well. It just comes down to the fact that they're not entirely focused on SEO, and therefore won't go through this exact the process I'm looking for, have all the things I'm looking for. But in terms of, so I generated this article. I had to use multiple accounts, by the way, and what I liked about it is it kind of did it piece by piece or section by section on the outline. Okay, so you can see here all the different sections in the article and then added together to complete the article. So what I really liked about AnyWord is the fact that we've got really good research and analyzation built in. So for example, here are some ideas. What facts should my readers be aware of? What statistics could be relevant for this topic? Okay, we can also analyze other things as well. So in terms of fact checking and citations, this was really, really good. We can also add in additional sections, and we've got the ideas here already. Okay, and we can see we've got here the citations, which we can simply add in if we want to. Okay, so in terms of that regard, I actually did really like AnyWord. It was good. So scored reasonably well, pretty good on the first article, okay on the second article, and I couldn't be bothered to create a third account to do the third article, right? But I mean, we can see it was okay in terms of SEO scores, pretty good on the first one. The readability was quite poor actually, so I think AnyWord, it's not built for SEO, right? It hasn't been built, with SEO in mind. It can do SEO, of course. They need to do some work on their readability anyway. But for me, ultimately, it just comes down to the fact that there's just a lot better on the list, and the writers that are really focused on SEO are just simply much better at doing SEO. So for me, I would not recommend AnyWord for SEO. But in terms of general marketing, yes, I would. So next on the list is Outranking. So this is one of the more well-known AI writers, and this is definitely an SEO writer, but is it any good? So they talk a big game on their website, and of course they have a lot of big clients, Kia, Reward for Zoho, etc. So yeah, I had high hopes for Outranking. Unfortunately, did not live up to them. It scored okay on the first article, poor readability, bombed on the second article, poor readability. Really good SEO score on the third article actually, and good readability. So it did pull through on the high competition VPN article, I will say. What I didn't like about it, very kind of clunky UI. It was also by far the slowest AI writer. It took me almost 20 minutes to get from entering keywords and things like that to actual article generation. The process was slow to get through each stage, and also the article generation itself. I don't mind if it takes a long time if the quality was really good, but for me it wasn't quite there. So let's open up, let's just do the first one. And yeah, as you can see, you have to wait for everything. Here we go. So yeah, again, the UI is just kind of like all over the place, right? So I mean, okay, so it's got a lot of SEO features, I will say that. Gives you the word count, readabilities, and also the on-page stuff, and also goes through each one, images and things like that. So you can add all this kind of stuff, but it's not an auto blogger, right? It's not a true auto blogger. I want to do as little work as possible if I'm using an AI writer. I think it should be doing a lot of these things automatically. Okay, it does have a lot of tools and features in here, I will say. So it is definitely built for SEO. Unfortunately, for me, like, having tested all of these, there was just better out there. There was more fluid process or flow, better UI, the output was better, the readability was better, although it did do well in Article 3. I don't think there's too much wrong with Outranking. There's just better on the list, unfortunately, and it's a victim of the fact that there's just the competition is so strong right now in terms of AI writers. So overall, I would not recommend Outranking. I just think there's just better out there, which you'll see soon. Okay, next on the list is machined AI. So machined AI is one of the newest ones out there. I was put onto this. So I actually came across machined AI on Twitter or X. I'd already started this process, but I thought I'd squeeze them in anyway, okay? So machined is probably one of the most unique writers on this list. It does things in kind of a different way. And what it does, it creates content clusters and then creates content for the clusters, right? And it does it in a really, really awesome way, okay? Now, worth mentioning at this point, it is another one of those connect your own API keys. I don't like that. I've said that before, but okay, we can look past that. So a very simple UI, and I have to say there was so much to like about this. Unfortunately, the SEO scores, the output was just not up to scratch. Okay, so it did okay on the first article with okay readability. It completely bombed on the second article. Abysmal, actually, one of the lowest scores with not very good readability. It did okay on the VPN article with terrible readability. So actually, in terms of like the scores, it should be a lot lower than what it is. I really, really wanted to like machined, okay, because it, like I'll show you in a second, it does things in a unique way. It's got so much potential. The scores were just terrible, and ultimately it came down to a combination of my personal kind of grading and counteracting the poor scores, because unfortunately. So for example here, sustainable gardening tips for beginners, okay? So let's click on this. So rather than just kind of giving you one article, right, it creates a cluster for your keyword. So I entered in your keyword, and it gave me a cluster based on different keywords. It gives you the volume, the comp, the trend, and also various different other things, okay? So we've got main keyword, beginner garden ideas, and then sustainable garden practices, organic gardening for beginners, sustainable gardening tips, and eco-friendly gardening tips. So it's created a cluster from my initial keyword. And what it'll do is it'll create articles, if you wanted to, for all of these keywords, and then it'll actually automatically interlink them together, okay? I think this is an amazing way of doing things. And for me to have this kind of relevant information right in front of me, I can see exactly what I'm targeting with each article and with each cluster, and I really think they're onto something here. The UI is simple but really, really effective. The information presented to me is really useful, and compared to some of the UIs of the products you've seen before, guys, completely different level. Like easy flow. For example, as soon as I click write, it'll start writing. It does it quickly. I can change the model, etc. So I use 4.0 Mini for this one. Change the it's just a great start, okay? And I really think that a lot of other AI writers can take a leaf on a machine's book, because they've just got this spot on. Unfortunately, the output was not up to scratch. And I think one of the things I noticed as well is these suggested titles, which the AI has come up with for each keyword in the cluster, are very obviously written by AI, okay? Just full of AI buzzwords. If we go back to empower your device, I had to change and you can change them, right? You can ask them to how to do this. Rewrite the title as well, okay? You can rewrite them as well, but it just kept on throwing up the same AI slop, okay? So they really need to work on humanizing their content and just making it more SEO friendly and just making it more human friendly as well. I don't really be reading this kind of AI buzzwords all the time. It's kind of sick and tired of it, right? One last thing on machined, and because I really wanted to like this, okay, is that it had probably one of the best formats or formatting and structure for any of the writers on this list, okay? Tables, bits of information, really nice layout format. Look at this, it looks really, really nice, okay? So there was I really, really wanted to like this. So guys, if you're involved with machined at all, if you're one of the founders or work for the company, please don't take this to heart. I'm really rooting for you. I think you're onto something here. You've just got to improve your output, okay? You need to configure your back end, your prompts, whatever you're doing on the back end, okay? Because run it through NLPs, get it good, because this has got a lot of potential. So I've put you at 19, I think. Even though your SEO scores and readability scores were way worse, because of the potential of the platform and how much I liked using it. But for me, hopefully you can step up your game. So right now, I can't recommend you for SEO, but one to watch for the future for sure. Next on the list is Macaw. So I love Macaw's website, generate AI content that humans love to read. Okay, so for me, that was absolutely perfect hook. And if the platform is based around that, then hopefully it's going to be really, really good. Unfortunately, it struggled a bit on the articles. Okay, well, in terms of being SEO friendly anyway. 66 on the first article was okay. 57 and 54 on the second and third, not good. Okay, but it did have really nice readability across the board, 10, 9, and 10. So with the readability scores, guys, 9 is the best, and then the further higher you go, the more complicated it gets, or the lower you go, the simpler it gets. So it's not necessarily a bad thing either way. But 9 is the sweet spot, and then 10 or 8 is really good, or even 7 and 11's a bit rubbish. But yeah, okay. But yeah, so really nice readability, and that, I guess, that kind of reflects how the writer is set up, right? Generate AI content that humans love to read. So for me, there's a few other things as well. It had a kind of a weird onboarding process, so it wouldn't actually let me continue until I entered in a website, right? I just want to go in and generate articles, guys. I don't want to be messing around like that. So maybe that's something to improve. But it did give me a really nice summary of the website I entered, and I was actually in human language, as if I was writing to a friend. It was great. So let's take a look here. Let's just do the free SEO learning and tips. So it's a nice clean UI, simple to use, and this is the featured image, and this is the article here, and of course you can edit this. So it's put in some links, which is nice, and we've got some other images as well, things like that. So yeah, you could definitely put some YouTubes in. What you can do here is you can create what's called keyword patterns. It's kind of, I guess, a unique thing for Macaw. You have your brief here and your outline. So it did a lot of the things really well. And the content was human-like, I will say. It was nice to read. It just wasn't that SEO friendly. I'm thinking about this, yeah, right? Because right now I think SEO is in a stage where almost things are over-optimized in terms of SEO, right? So a writer like this, which promotes human-like content, might be the future of SEO, right? Because I think Google's got to do something, right, guys? Because it's just AI slop and articles that are just way too over optimized, and maybe this is the future. Maybe this is the way things are going to go. So ultimately, for now, I wouldn't quite recommend it for SEO for now, but for the future, this might be the way things are going. And if you've got clients and they are stickler for we want human-like content, then Macaw might be an option. But right now, I don't think I could recommend it for SEO, given how strong the competition is out there. But this is definitely, I'll put this along with Machined as ones to watch for sure. So next on the list we have Blog SEO, which is definitely, again, one of the newer ones. I hadn't actually heard of this until I started the test. It came number 2 on Product Hunt Product of the Day, which is always a good sign. Nice website, and also a very nice UI as well. So this is probably one of, if not the easiest ones to use off the entire list. It's got auto blogging features, video to blog, keyword tools, analytics, AI content tools. So again, you can tell this is definitely made for the SEO, as the name suggests. Okay, it was super easy to generate these articles. Okay, it quite literally took a couple of clicks and it generated the articles super fast. Okay, nice clean editor. Although it did give me 3,500 words almost when I think I asked for 1,500. I don't know why these writers keep doing that, but again, if it's analyzing the SERPs and that's what they're doing, then that's what you would want, right? Really nice article, and yeah, it was just a pleasure to use, to be honest with you, and I can see why it came second on Product Hunt Product of the Day. There was a lot to like about it. Sometimes simple is better, and the simplicity and the ease of use of this, they really nailed the UI and the flow of the articles. Super easy to use. So in terms of the SEO, 4,500 words. Again, that was a bit. I actually generated a smaller article for the other one. But anyway, really good SEO score on the first one. One of the highest, 78. Really nice. Poor readability though, so that's something that needs work. Unfortunately, Blog SEO bombed then on the next two articles, 54 and 49. 49 is terrible, with poor readability across the board. So right now, I would say Blog SEO is a work in progress. They've got a lot of things right. Mainly the flow of using the platform and the UX and the UI and the editing and things like that, and the SEO tools. They're definitely on the right path. Right now, they need to work on their output in terms of how SEO friendly it is, and definitely on how readable it is. Okay, so it was quite poor in that regard. Right now, look, if you're new and you want something that's easy to use and just gets content out there straight away, then yes, blog SEO would be a good recommendation. I don't think I could entirely recommend it for SEO right now, given that I think there's room for improvement. But there was a lot to like about blog SEO. And along with Machined and Macaw, I would put this on the one to watch for sure. Okay, so next up, number 14, I believe, Writesonic. So Writesonic, definitely one of the big boys in the arena. It's been around for a while. It's very well known. They do a lot of marketing, so I'm assuming it's one of these big teams, VC-backed companies. I mean, look at their client list, right? Nuts. And you can see, from their website, they talk a big game. So inside Writesonic, yeah, there was a lot to like about it. In fact, lots of different tools inside in terms of like SEO. So you've got your SEO checker, your keyword research, your topic clusters, content gap analysis, guys. So, going back to my initial requirements, I wanted any kind of additional SEO extras. This is, stuff like this is gold, right? So it was really nice to see, okay, Writesonic is definitely about SEO. And in terms of like the article writer, so let's look at my history. Okay, so sustainable garden tips for beginners. Let's do that one first, okay? I had to do multiple accounts for this one. It was a pain in the ass, actually, signing up for Writesonic. So they wouldn't let me log in whilst I had ad blocker on, right? So I couldn't actually log in until I turned ad blocker off. Yeah, so this is the article I generated, and this is the editor. So a lot cleaner than what the main UI is, okay? And we can see we've got then, in terms of write-in, blog post, content rephraser, different categories. In terms of article writer, we've got so here we go, 10-step article with full control of the article type. You can choose a listicle, how-to guide, news article, reference, competitor selection, keywords, word length, outline, writing style, CTA, and image, frequently asked questions, and other settings. Or you can do a 4-step article or an instant article. Okay, so far, right, Writesonic doing absolutely all the right things in my opinion. Okay, it's going through my list of requirements, takes a keyword, does the SERP analysis, creates an outline, and adds various different things. Okay, so let's go back to my article. It's worth noting that on the trial for this, I only got one article per account, and it actually logged my IP, so I had to do some tricky things to get extra. I was going to pay for it, but I paid for so much already. I was kind of, okay, if it's got a free trial, we should go for it. So the article itself, so it done a lot of things. And when I was actually creating this article, it actually went through the process. I was creating an outline, researching competitors, etc. It did all the right things. So I thought to myself, okay, Writesonic, this is a winner for sure. Unfortunately, the output and the scores didn't match up to what the platform was offering itself. So it completely bombed on the sustainable gardening article, which is the one you just saw. And readability was okay, I guess, a little bit poor. Did okay on the second article, did okay on the third article, but poor readability again. So the output for me did not match the overall offering of the platform, which is really, really unfortunate. And I actually spoke to someone else who also used Writesonic, and they loved the tool. They just said the output needed work, which is a real shame, really, because there was a lot to like about Writesonic. It's definitely about SEO. You've definitely got more than just an AI writer in here, and it goes through the process that I would expect from an AI writer. It just scored poorly on SEO and wasn't that readable. Yeah, unfortunate, really. So right now, I excuse me, I would recommend Writesonic for SEO. With all the different tools and the optimization and things like that in there, you can definitely get some good, really good quality articles out there. It just out of the box, out of the bat, it wasn't as good as some of the others. So for now, I would say it's a yes, but consider your options. Okay, next up is Blaze. I have to say I loved Blaze. Look at this website, guys. Make great content as a team of one. Look at this. I love it. It's completely unique, and it also had, probably the most unique UI as well, in terms of all these AI writers. So Blaze is very much an AI tool to just create content, not just SEO content, but also social media content. And to be honest with you, I think it's social media. The social media side is where it excels. It's not entirely built for SEO in the same way as anywhere. There's Jasper, there's Copy AI, etc. But we gave it a go anyway. But this UI, man, is so good. So in terms of the scores for Blaze, it scored really well on the first article with poor readability, and it bombed on the second article completely with poor readability, and it did reasonably well on the third article again with poor readability. So for SEO, it's just not really quite there. So let's take a look at my my recent articles. What should we look at? Yeah, free SEO training. Let's do this one, which is the second keyword. We can see here exactly what it looks like in the editor. So we've got our title, our introduction, etc., and our images. Great. So you actually got to pick these images. So during the content generation portion, when you're doing your keywords and things like that, and the outline, you actually got some options to pick some images. I loved that a lot. I didn't see that from any other AI writer. They got the flow of that spot on, and yeah, it was really nice. I think in terms of general content creation, if you're part of a social media agency or you're doing social media, this is great. Look at this feature here, right? Turn this long form blog post doc into 50 different content types in just a click, okay? You can actually see all the different social accounts you can use for this. There's absolutely tons. There's so much what you can do for this, okay, right, guys? So in my opinion, Blaze for social media, absolutely awesome. Definitely 100%. For SEO, it can do SEO. It's just not really entirely about SEO, unfortunately. And the output and look. But yeah, besides that, I think Blaze is really awesome. So if you're part of a social media team and you need generative AI for social media, I would 100% recommend Blaze. If you're SEO through and through, you probably want to use something else, although it can do SEO too, but not to the level that we're looking at for this test. But yeah, I would highly recommend Blaze for social media content creation and that kind of omni-channel content creation. To be able to do that inside a tool like this is fantastic. So yeah, Blaze, fun to use. I recommend it for social media, but for SEO, there's just better out there. Okay, next on the list, and we're getting pretty close to the top 10 now, guys. So the competition from here on in is actually quite strong. And next on the list we have Copymatic. Okay, so this is inside Copymatic. So I'd heard a lot about this. I tested it out, and yeah, it was not bad at all. So a very clean UI. It kind of reminds me a little bit about Longshot, which you didn't get to see earlier on in this review. But this is kind of how the UI was, where you had these different templates for kind of what articles to write, etc. In fact, it has 82 different tools in here for you to use, generate video titles, video descriptions, follow-up emails, product descriptions, etc. So really nice, simple to use UI as well. So how does it perform for SEO? So for SEO, it scored very well on the first article with decent readability. Bombed on the second article, unfortunately, but also had good readability for that one. I didn't do the third test because would have to create an additional account again, and I'd already kind of seen enough. But here we go, AI writer article. So this is how you would do it. So you simply enter in the title and the focus keywords. So what I like about this is write the outline with AI from the off. Okay, so I like that a lot. It would be even better if it had SERP Analysis, but I don't entirely know where it's pulling this information from. Right, maybe it is. I'm not sure. I think where I'm at with this tool, it was easy to use, but there wasn't really a lot of customization options. Okay, I think it's a trade-off where if you perhaps you want just a simple AI writer that just writes articles, does the outlines, gives you the first article was very decent, very good actually. Was good, decent readability on both. Kind of bombed on SEO on the second one article. A lot of writers struggled on that. I think Copymatic is good in terms of if you just want something that does what it says on the tin, or maybe you just enter in the game and you want to try something out. I would recommend this for SEO. I just think there's stronger out there with more customization options, with more SEO tools and things like that. So I would put Copymatic in that bracket of worth trying. But I think there's just better out there. And sorry if that sounds I'm on the fence a little, but it's just kind of how it is. All right, so we're getting very close to the top 10 now. I believe we are, number 11, and which is byword.ai. Okay, so Byword, very, very clean, minimalistic website, and also the UI was as well. Upload thousands of keywords or titles and create SEO optimized articles in just a few clicks. Okay, and the pricing for this is starting at $99 a month, moving up to $299. So it's not too expensive, but on the expensive end, more expensive end for article generation. In terms of SEO scores, so score 72, which is decent, but pretty poor, very poor readability actually. Bombed on the second article, but had decent readability, and scored very well on the third article with quite poor readability as well. Overall, is SEO scores or average, probably exactly where it is in 11th place. So let's take a look at the UI. Okay, so I'm inside the dashboard now for Byword. As you can see, super, super clean UI, okay? Not a germ anywhere. This is being completely sanitized for sure. So this is kind of the UI. So generation mode, keyword or article title and subheadings, and then put your keyword in here that you would like to target. So it was super easy actually to generate this content. And if we go to article settings, you kind of have like campaign level article settings of how to do this. So reduce detection, word count, custom prompts, and also images as well. So if we go to where's my articles? Yeah, okay, so let's just do sustainable gardening. So it performed very well on this one. So let's go to edit the article to see how it comes up. And it's kind of a weird editor, I will say. I wasn't so sure about this. You can kind of edit it from here. Very basic. So for Byword, I think it's really built for kind of batch generation of content. If you're doing like hundreds or even thousands of articles, I think it does that really, really well. In terms of like it being an AI writer, for a single article, it did do really well with the image generation, I have to say. I don't think it's as strong as some of the others because it just lacks a lot of the customization options. Doesn't have a lot of the SEO features that some of the other platforms have. And yeah, for in terms of like what you're paying for it, I think unless you're planning to bulk do content, for me, there's better out there. I would recommend Byword for SEO. I think it performed reasonably well. Didn't quite crack the top 10, but for me, I just think there's better out there. But for bulk content, this would definitely be an option. It's built for bulk content, guys, batch generation, auto indexing, and things like that. But for like, if you're banking on a single article, a money article, or certainly a pillar page, I'd probably have to pass on Byword for that. But yeah, definitely a solid platform overall. Okay guys, we made it. We are now into the top 10. So from here on in, I would recommend every single one of these platforms for SEO. Okay, there was a lot to like about each of them, and the competition was very strong, very fierce, especially as we go further into the top 10. And ultimately, it just came down to some personal preferences and just some things here, there, and everywhere. Okay, so from here on in, they're all recommendations, but each have their strong points or weaknesses, and I'll talk about that moving on. So at number 10, we have Cuppa. So I went on Cuppa's website. I like the website a lot. Very nice, clean website. And also, I quite like the user interface inside Cuppa as well. It's very easy to use. You've got on the dashboard here all your different articles to generate, okay? Can't remember who it was. Content Sprout. Take note. And very easy to generate these articles. Also has bulk generation, and that's how it. And it also has what I really like here is location service pages. So if you're into local SEO tool, my subscription has expired. But if you're into local SEO at all and you want to create kind of like location specific pages that have things like Google Maps integration, service descriptions and things like that, with address details, and you can build out these location service pages. So I like that feature from Cuppa a lot. One thing I didn't like though is it's another one of those, unfortunately, connect your API keys to the platform. It's not an expensive platform at all, guys. In fact, if we go to the pricing, but I think they should be kind of a weird pricing. Where is it? Yeah, $25 a month, I think, is the minimum price. So, and then you're paying your API key costs on top of that. So definitely one of the most cost-effective solutions here, for sure. So if we take a look at my generated content, let's kind of see how it goes. So it's very easy to generate these articles. Okay, so this wasn't part of the test, but I just realized I'm logged into the wrong account. But this is one of the local solution pages that I produced previously. So really nice AI image here, and it gives you the title. So plumbing services in Ontario was the the dummy business. Table of contents, and you can see here all the the different information for this like local business. Okay, also a call to action today. Get in touch with us today. I like that as well. We can download that or share that. We have more. So when I was creating this article, I got to choose the point of view, the tone of voice, the GPT model, and also the country region. So for local, I was really good. So I'm just going to log into the other account now just so I can get the test articles for you. Okay, so we've got my 3 articles here, and let's just do the sustainable gardening tips. I love the AI image generation with Cuppa. It had that absolutely nailed on, one of the best on this list for sure. I think this image is fantastic. I got to choose the style of the image generation. As we can see, table of contents and all the different information on the article. So it's really good, really easy to use as well. This was done with GPT-4o Mini. I used DALL-E for the images, first person article, USA targeting. So in terms of the SEO scores and the readability, scored really well, 69 on the first article. Didn't do so well on the second article, but not many did, 58, which is respectable, and very respectable also 67 on the third article. It did have some issues with readability, guys, so 13, 12, and 12 on readability. And I noticed it did have AI buzzwords and things like that, unfortunately. So let's go back. It did have some issues with that. I also noticed some repetition issues as well in some of the articles. So not perfect by any means, but I would say it's definitely a top 10 AI writer. Well, of course, I've got it ranked 10th. It's easy to use. I like the features. It's really cheap, cost effective, although you do have to use your API key. I think if they just make the content less AI, more kind of human-like, more readable, they've got a really strong product here, as the SEO score suggests. So yeah, I mean, I liked using Cuppa, so I would absolutely recommend using Cuppa in your SEO. I think it's a good tool, yeah, for sure. So at number 9, we've got Hypotenuse AI. So Hypotenuse, backed by Y Combinator, which is the people from like Reddit and stuff like that. So a serious player. They're based in Singapore, and recently, I'm not sure how long ago actually, because they were all about SEO. And they've pivoted to e-commerce, right? And they have this really awesome video on the website where quite literally they bulk generate in hundreds, if not thousands, of product descriptions and product pages. 12,000 in just a click, okay? So you can see a really powerful platform and big client list. I mean, just check the website out, okay? So there was a lot to like about Hypotenuse, even though they don't market themselves as an AI writer anymore, okay? But overall, as you'd expect from a company backed by the YC, the product itself is really smooth experience. The UI is excellent, the layout's great, the article generation did exactly what I wanted it to. So even though they don't brand themselves as an AI writer anymore, they still have a lot of AI SEO features in here. So for example, you click on blog article and you go through the process. So on this account, I did the VPN article. So let's take a look at that. So I did all the things that I expected of it, okay? I created an outline. You can swap out the outline here if you want to, or remove things or add things in. You can also, let me move this out the way, I can't see, include factual research and hyperlink resources, okay? So you can actually go ahead. And it was probably one of, if not the best AI writer actually putting in external links, okay? Definitely one of the top ones for doing that. So this is the article. It's 1,500 words, and it was really good. So in terms of the SEO scores for the first article, really awesome 77 with okay, quite poor readability. The second article, a massive 69. So a lot of these AI writers struggled on this one. Hypotenuse didn't, with a good readability score of 11, and reasonably well on the VPNs with an okay, little bit poor readability score on the third one. So maybe the fact that it doesn't brand it, it's not concentrated on SEO anymore, might have contributed to that. But I mean, Guys, come on. So as soon as I saw that, yeah, definitely a markdown. But yeah, there was a lot to like about Hypotenuse. Now, its SEO scores actually put it above where I've placed it in at 9. It was actually higher. I think it was top 5. The reasons I've marked it down or put it a bit lower is some readability AI buzzword issues, but we could probably sort that out with some extra prompting. And also for the SERP analysis, okay? So again, this is kind of pivoted on e-commerce. We go to marketing and SEO here. Click on the monthly build-in. So to get, in my opinion, the SEO Pro mode, which has the SERP analysis, the article optimizer, etc., and the real-time factual research, it's $230 a month, okay, guys? Which, if you're part of an SEO team, a marketing agency, and you have that kind of budget, then yeah, why not? Hypotenuse is a slick platform that certainly excels at e-commerce. But I think to get the most out of it, you would need to do this plan. So it's expensive. And if you're a solopreneur or a solo blogger, this might be out of your budget. So that's kind of why I've moved Hypotenuse down in terms of the scores it got. But for me, a lot I like about it, a very slick, very smooth platform. Needs some work on the readability side for sure. Great SEO scores, amazing at e-commerce, but just probably too expensive. But if you're part of a marketing team, so yeah, I would absolutely recommend Hypotenuse. I think if you're like an agency and you have the budget, then you should go for it. Otherwise, there may be other options which you would prefer. But yeah, just a great platform. So next on the list at number 8, and the competition is really strong right now, is Agility Writer. So Agility Writer is really well known. It's one of the top AI writers out there for sure. I've used it before in the past and was very impressed with it. And I've seen some other people who review these platforms, and they've put Agility Writer as their absolute number 1. Okay, so it is a powerhouse in terms of the SEO AI writing world. So this is kind of the UI. It's very similar to another tool that is coming up later on in this list, but I'll talk about that then. And I just liked it from the off. Okay, so you've got the different options here for article creation. So let's go ahead and see the articles I've written. So we've got a history. We can view and download our articles. Okay, so we've got our 3 articles here, 1,500, 1,200, and 2,500 words in length. So if we go back to the SEO scores, so it scored really, really well on the first article and had decent, good actually readability on the first article. So that was a success. Unfortunately, it bombed on the second and third articles. Excellent readability on them. So kind of the opposite to what some of these platforms have had an issue with. They've had great SEO scores but poor readability, and this one kind of vice versa on the second two. So I was really kind of disappointed with the SEO scores for the second and third articles because the first one went so well, but the readability scores were really, really good. Now, what I did for these articles, so for the first one, which was the sustainable gardening tips, which scored really highly on SEO and also was good on readability, I just basically did it out of the box. So I didn't change any of the settings. I just literally clicked generate, and it came out to me like this. Okay, so great image and yeah, really good readability. Many people want to garden but worry about the impact on the earth. Okay, sounds like it's written by a human, not in today's eco-friendly world or something like that, right? To me, this was one of the best out there. One of the best writers on the list for sure in terms of like how the actual content read. Okay, and that's really, really important. So that's why, despite it not doing too well on SEO on the second or third articles, I actually ranked it above where the scores would have been. And to be honest with you, I think if I got to know the platform more and got to know the ins and outs of it and used it more, it might even be higher than 8. It might even be top 5 or top 3. Okay, there's a lot to like about Agility Writer for sure. So let's take a look at one of the articles that didn't do so well. Let's do the second one. A lot of writers struggled on this because it is kind of a broad keyword, right? But even then, many people struggle to show up online. I like that kind of intro, right? It's not that AI kind of buzzword crap. And even put a YouTube video in here, although I suppose it should show the preview, right? But it's got the links in, it's got the images, and okay, that's a bit of an area. Right, so maybe this is why I didn't clock this first time around. Maybe this is why it didn't perform so well in this article, because there's an error here. So yeah, I think look, this would definitely have performed better had I got used to it more. Okay, but the fact that it's top 10 anyway, and the fact that I think the content is very, very readable and reads really, really nicely, and it had all the kind of features and tools that I would expect from this. So look at this, we have your topical map helper, content refiner, entity extraction. Okay, so if I'd gone in and used a lot of these tools and added it in, we definitely would have got a better result. Outline builder, which we did anyway, and even it has an EEAT bio generator. So a lot of the tools really nice to have in terms of an AI SEO platform there. So for me, does all these things in the process really well. Also completely nailed the readability. When I changed the settings, it kind of didn't go so well, but straight out of the box, it was great. So I'm really happy to recommend Agility Writer as an AI writer for your SEO purposes. It could even be better than the 8th place it's in. For me, yeah, it was really, really great. So like I said, the competition right now is really strong. They're all recommendations from here on in, but Agility Writer, definitely a thumbs up. Okay, in 7th place, we have Phrase. So for those of you who don't know, Phrase is Writer's sister, I guess, platform. So Writer is one of those really well-known AI generators, but when I went to review it, I realized it wasn't for SEO purposes, and it would just be like another copy AI or another Jasper. And Writer itself actually then took me to Phrase, which is their SEO offering. So for Phrase, how content creators do SEO, really nice, slick website. I liked it a lot. And this video here really impressed me, okay, straight off the bat. The fact that you can see what it did here. It was asking questions to the AI itself, and it's generating it in front, an extra section in front of its very eyes. Okay, create a list of key differences between SEO and SEM, and I just did it in front of its very eyes. So I was already pumped about trying this. It is on the pricey side, okay, and there's a reason for that in a second. Okay, so Phrase is not just an AI writer, it's actually a content optimizer and editor. So in the same way that Neuron Writer is, which is what we're using to test these, and in the same way that SERP for SEO is, it's a content optimizer tool, okay? Very slick, clean UI, really pleasure to use, okay? So let's go with, I don't know, the first article, all right? So this is what I came up with. And you can see here all the different sections and tables formatted really, really nicely. And we should have a conclusion at the end. Yeah, we've got a conclusion at the end, okay? And like I say, I could have used Phrase instead of Neuron Writer for the optimization or for the scores, but I really wanted to test this out. Where Phrase really excels in is its general kind of like SEO and optimization features, which you would expect from an optimizer. For example, here we have the SERP extracts, what's missing, etc., where it's pulling the information from, what the competitors' outlines are, okay? So this is that SERP analysis that I've been talking about. If you really, really want to do this properly, you've got the top ranking results in the SERPs here, and exactly, excuse me, what they're using. We've got the outline for our own article, which we can obviously we can change. So when I did this, I actually generated the outline first, and it generated it based off the SERPs, which is really, really nice. And then we generated the article off that, and then we can also optimize it again with the LSIs, entities, and NLP keywords here, and then info gain here. So this is, guys, this is outstanding, okay? For example, if I want to put, it didn't put the links in automatically, right? So it's not an auto blocker in that sense. But for example, I click on here, I might want to put this link in, bang, and it's in there straight away, okay? I actually did it before, that's why it's in there twice, okay? How awesome is that? That's just a massive time saver, guys. And the fact that you can see exactly where the links are coming from, and they're all grouped together as well. So overall for me, this was actually, in my opinion, the best editor on the entire list. Really, really close with Surfer, of course, but for me, I actually preferred using this one in terms of like SEO. So if you are part of an agency or a team, a marketing agency, and you need this kind of like collaboration, or you need these kind of tools, for me, this Phrase was absolutely outstanding. So let's go ahead and check out the scores. So Phrase scored really well on the first one with a 70 and a good, okay readability of 11. And then unfortunately, it just, like Agility Writer, it didn't do so well. Kind of bombed on the second article and also on the third article. The readability was actually really good, though, for all three. So similar vein to Agility, the readability was excellent throughout, but just did not do so well in terms of SEO score on Article 2 or Article 3. Now, obviously, you have this suite of features to improve this article very, very easily. So just with a bit of tinkering, you could have got the scores right up there. So it's definitely not an auto blogger, but you have this amazing content optimizer as well. So in terms of pricing, you're paying $45 a month for the optimizer, and then you have to pay, I think I paid $35 extra a month. Here we go, for the 30 articles. So I paid a total of $75 a month for this for 30 articles. So it is, I mean, it's still pretty good, right? I mean, it's just over $2.50 an article. Okay, so it's still really good. I mean, it's not as bad as some of the others, but for me, Phrase, I liked it a lot, and definitely if you're part of an agency or part of a team, I would 100% recommend Phrase for SEO for sure. So number 6, we're almost into the top 5 now, and again, the competition is just so strong. There's very little to separate. So number 6, it was ScaleNet. So ScaleNet was one of the, I guess, a pleasant surprise for me. I wasn't sure what to expect from it because the website is crazy, man. I mean, I'm looking at it, whoa, okay. So I wasn't sure what to expect, but ScaleNet was impressive to me. So the UI, okay, was a little bit. So if I had to be critical of ScaleNet in one way, so the UI was a little bit crazy. So let's take a look at one of the articles here. So again, it's also, like Neuron Writer, like Phrase, like Surfer, it's also a content optimizer tool, as well as an AI writer. So this is the VPN article, massive title image there. So key highlights, I like that. Introduction, don't like that. But we can go ahead and see kind of like the rest of the article is great. So it's actually pulled all these, done a comparison between the VPNs, etc., etc. Okay, you've got your optimizer here, your brief. So this is a full SEO suite. Okay, this isn't just an AI writer; it's a full SEO suite. This is like a SEO agency's dream, right? Again, similar to Phrase, your outline, etc. Oops, I don't have the content gap analysis right now. Again, subscription expired, but for research, content gap, excellent. All your researches, so your keywords, your NLPs, etc. Your questions, which you could put in the answers to. Competition, so again, SERP analysis, perfect, exactly what we wanted to. Kind of a detailed report. We can also do the interlinking as well. Again, so the only bone to pick so far is the very obvious AI introduction, okay, but loads and loads of different options here, and we've got the blog outline, which was created in front of our eyes as well, which is really, really nice. Also has editor, so we can create an image, Cruise AI, which is like an autopilot mode, I believe. So yeah, it was just good in every area. Okay, so let's take a look at the SEO scores and the readability. So same as Phrase, 70 for the first article with a readability of 8, so that's really good. So even though I found an AI buzzword, which was on the VPN article, which scored 13. It was very, very readable for the first 2 articles. It did okay on the second article, 58. A lot of writers struggled with the second article, so 58 was reasonable. And for the third article, so yeah, crushed it, knocked out of the park, although it had poor readability. So the readability was great for the first 2 articles, really good. Poor for the third article, and we just, we saw why with the AI buzzwords. So if you're looking for, compare this to some of the ones towards the bottom of the list, right, where they were just generating articles. Look at the difference between ScaleNet and those, okay, with the customization options, the outlines, and it's identified all the potential SEO issues here. So if I fix these, the SEO score would only go up, okay. You've got your brief and absolutely everything here. So for me, there was a lot to like about ScaleNet, and honestly, not much to dislike. I mean, the UI is kind of a bit like everywhere. I mean, as is the website, to be honest with you. But yeah, ScaleNet was a real pleasant surprise. I'd have it as the same as Phrase, to be honest with you. Phrase is the best editor, the smoothest experience, but ScaleNet had the better output straight out of the box. So up to you, which you prefer. But overall, I definitely would recommend ScaleNet for SEO for sure. Number 5 on the list, SEO writing. So I've seen SEO writing absolutely everywhere on YouTube and with influencers promoting it, okay? AI writing tool for various different things. Really nice, friendly website. One of the best things I would say straight off the bat was the price, $19 a month. Definitely one of the most wallet-friendly options, okay? Now, I'm inside the dashboard of SEO writing. Now, obviously, it came number 5 out of 30 plus, so it's really, really good. But the first thing I noticed about SEO writing is that the UI is eerily similar to another tool on this list. Do you remember which one? Yeah, Agility Writer, almost identical. Now, I don't know who copied who, but yeah, there's definitely been some inspiration taken from the UIs there. But anyway, yeah, SEO writing, what can I say? It was really, really good. So for example, one-click blog post here, product roundups, product reviews, how-to guides, really, really easy to start generating your articles. Also has a humanizer tool as well. You can, so it's optional to connect your API key. So I like the fact that it's optional. I don't like when they force it on you, to be honest with you. But there we go. So one-click blog post is what we did. So you're entering your keyword. And you can put your title, or you can generate a title with the AI, which is actually what I did. And I just love how easy the flow of this, yeah, right? Because you just choose your stuff and then you're done. So all of this is really, really useful information, okay? You can choose your AI model. You even have Claude 2, which is excellent. Your tone of voice, your point of view, your target country, your AI words removal, okay? So I tested this on all 3, right? And then 8th and 9th grade, easy to understand, okay? I like the fact that it has this, all right? Because you can tailor your articles depending on if you have a technical audience, a general audience, etc. For me, this is really good. It also has brand voice, so you can create your own custom brand voice, based off materials from your website, your social media, etc. Any specific details you want to include in the article for sure, for example, as a phone number. And now we have the media hub. For me, this is all really, really relevant, excellent stuff. So number of images, image style, photorealistic cartoon, additional instructions, YouTube videos. Guys, so this is really important. People want to see videos in the articles, okay? Not that many of these writers actually did this, right? SEO writing was actually one of them, layer options. If you want to put any additional SEO keywords in here. So for NLP keywords generation, so you can actually generate them here, or you can go into your content optimizer like Neuron Writer, like ScaleNet, like Phrase, like Surfer, etc., and take out all the competitor NLPs, entities, LSIs, whack them in here to get a really supercharged SEO score. I didn't do that. This is an out-of-the-box test. Also with structure, conclusion, how you want it, etc., and also internal, external linking, and optional connect to the web. Guys, it does absolutely everything that I wanted to from this list. So for me, SEO writing ticked all the boxes, okay? So let's take a look at some examples of some articles that we generated. Okay, so sustainable gardening tips for beginners, lovely bright image, okay? More and more people want to garden in a way that's good for the planet. Brilliant intro, okay? Not AI generated at all, okay? Not in today's eco world or what have you, right? Key takeaways, excellent. Tables, excellent. YouTube, excellent. For me, this is one of the best formatted posts. Writers, FAQ, brilliant. So this was completely out of the box without, jigging or altering the settings at all, okay? And to me, it's one of the best writers out there for sure. I mean, it had it very close to the top of the list in terms of the readability. So let's take a look at the scores for SEO writing. Monster 75 on the first article, really good readability. 64 on the second article, which is actually one of the highest, okay? Top 5 highest or even top 3 highest, with an excellent readability of 9, perfect. And then again, really, really good 70 on the third article with a readability of 9. So best readability so far of any writer, and also combine that with the excellent SEO scores meant it was 5th on the list. Also in terms of the budget, the price was excellent. So it's really, really hard to find anything wrong with SEO writing. I think, which one was it? Maybe it was the VPN's article. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's the only thing I'd have an issue with. But yeah, it was just a pleasure to use. And yeah, go try SEO writing out, guys. You will not be disappointed. I would recommend it for SEO for sure. Number 4, Surfer SEO. Needs no introduction. Surfer SEO, absolute powerhouse in the SEO world. Okay, it's been the content optimizer to go to for a long time now, and you can go to their website and see their list of clients, exactly what they do. They are if you're into SEO, you know who Surfer are, okay? So we're inside now the Surfer platform, and of course we're testing the AI writer here, and its output, how SEO friendly it is, how readable it is, etc. But as you know, Surfer's a very, very polished platform. The content editor is second to none. I actually did prefer using Phrase just because, I don't know, it was very, very smooth, but Surfer's editor is faultless to it. It's really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of the articles it generated. So let's do the VPN article, okay? So Surfer's obviously given itself SEO scores, and the reason why I didn't want to use Surfer for the ratings is that I wanted to test Surfer's AI writer a lot, okay? When I first used Surfer's AI writer, when it first came out, maybe 2 years ago now, it was hot garbage, gotta be honest, right? And they've improved it massively, okay? So as we can see here, looking for the best VPN, answers the query straight away. Key takeaways, great images, and this editor is smooth as silk, okay? It's brilliant. And you also have all the different, the traditional Surfer offerings here, okay? It's a complete content editor. Same as ScaleNet, same as Phrase. We can even auto-optimize here if we want to get the SEO score up. Go to topics. Taking a look at the topics as well. The outline is probably the best outline generator of any on the list, along with Phrase for sure, and then your briefs, etc. Okay, if you've used Surfer before, you know what you're getting, right? So I just want to go to the output now, right? Because a lot of people, they've used Surfer before, but they've not used the AI writer itself, okay? And it did exceptionally well in terms of SEO scores. So really good 74 on the first article, 61 on the second article. Again, lots of writers struggled, so 61 was good. And then a monstrous 76 on the VPN articles, the high competition keyword. It was the outright number 1, first place for the VPN article, okay? It was outstanding job with a readability of 11, which is okay. It did struggle a little bit with readability on 12 and 13, but we can probably improve that, with some optimization. If I had to criticize it, it would be that, to be honest with you. But for the VPN article, it absolutely knocked it out of the park. What I will say with Surfer, again, it's very much geared towards marketing agencies and serious SEOs who are managing a lot of clients, and also, of course, the pricing reflects that. So you pay $99 a month and you get 5 of these articles in with that, and you have to bolt on an add-on for additional articles. I think it works at like $19 an article or something like that. So it's one of the most expensive on this list, but it is really, really good. And I would absolutely recommend it for SEO, because not only do you get really strong SEO scores, you also get this content optimizer too. The only way I can really mark it down is on the readability, but the VPN article absolutely knocked it out of the park. So I wonder if we auto-optimized it, what it would actually, if we even have the credits for that. But I'm sure if you played around with the NLPs and the entities and things like that, you get the SEO score up. Or maybe even the outline, but I let the AI generate everything for me. It did take quite a while to generate this VPN article compared to the other 2 articles, but obviously the output was more than worth it. It was the best outline generator, I would say, on the list, along with Phrase. So I would highly recommend Surfer. If you've got the budget, highly recommend Surfer for SEO. Number 3, and the biggest surprise of this entire test for me, Junior AI. Junior AI was one of the newest AI writers out there. It was recently on a lifetime deal on AppSumo. It's not on there anymore, unfortunately, and I'm now kicking myself that I didn't get it, because it was excellent. And I just thought to myself, another AI writer, I'll just put it in, I'll do a quick review, won't amount to much, but they've really got it going on. In terms of the SEO scores, it absolutely knocked out of the park with a 77 on the first article, a 64 on the second article and a 71 on the third article, which put it in, I think, second place overall in terms of the SEO generation scores. It had an 11, an 11, and a 13 readability. So it was the readability is probably could have been improved. The 11 is respectable. Definitely could have been improved on the VPN article for sure. So that's kind of the only bone I had to pick. Really nice UI, so you've got all the different options here as well, and it seems to me that they're adding more and more at a very vast rate. Article workflow. So let me take a look at my documents, okay? So I'll show you the bits I really liked about Junior, okay? So obviously excellent SEO scores. Let me check this article. So we can see here it's not complete by any means, but they're kind of building out this kind of SEO, this surface style optimizer as well. But the fact that you have some basic options in here is really, really nice. It's a nice touch as well. And you can obviously don't trust these scores, right? That's why we use an independent. But again, really great image. Introduction, sustainable gardening transforms your backyard. Don't like that. But in terms of the article layout and the rest of the readability, it was really, really good. The images were great. The links were great. It just did all the things I was expecting it to from an AI writer. Okay, and really, really nice, smooth editor, very clean to use. Now, one of the things I really liked about this, and only a couple of the tools on this list also have this, is the AI SEO editor. So if I want to edit this article like this, or this section, we highlight it and we can do lots of different things just straight off the bat. We can expand it, we can humanize it, we can improve the readability. So again, I think I probably want to do that with these Junior articles, improve the SEO, auto linking, images, custom commands, write a final paragraph, change the tone even, or write a summary. This is what I want an AI writer to be like. I want the AI to be able to edit it. I just want to go, okay, click, do this, click, do this, click, do this. Not many of the tools on this list have this kind of option, okay? And this is what I'm looking for, right? We're going back, ticks all the boxes here, okay? So yeah, the only bone to pick I had was some readability issues, some minor readability issues, because 11's okay, 13's not very good. You would need to improve that. But amazing SEO scores across the board. Really easy to use the platform, additional SEO features, and in terms of pricing, I mean, $34 a month or $59 a month. So, in the kind of bracket we're looking for, I would say. So overall, yeah, I mean, it's third place for a reason. And the fact that the tool is this good already, having not been out there that long, tells me that this is definitely one to watch. It's only going to improve, right? So for me, this is absolutely a thumbs up. I loved using it. And yeah, I would highly recommend this for SEO purposes for sure. So yeah, go check out Junior AI. Number 2, Koala. Koala is really, really well known. It's been around for a while now, and with good reason. It's very strong at pretty much everything. Okay, it was one of the original ones to actually focus on SEO optimization, along with my old company, Content at Scale. Kind of a weird website. I've always thought it's a bit weird, but I mean, who cares about that, right? It's about the platform and the articles, and you can see exactly pretty much everything you can do here, and you can also read some sample articles. Okay, so I'm inside Koala Writer now, and again, very, very easy to use. One of the quickest platforms in terms of getting from your keywords to doing the outlines to actually getting your article out there, right? And you can see here, analyzes Google and optimizes your article. So it has that much needed SERP analysis, prioritizes people first content, excellent. Auto links, uses real-time data if you want to. Powerful outline editor, excellent. Also has some article generations with affiliates and Amazon, etc. Okay, so you can use some presets, change your project, or you can change your article. So I used Claude, I used GPT-4, and I used Mini for the 3 tests. Can change your blog type, your listicles, your product roundups, etc. Pick your keyword. SEO optimization, AI powered, because we wanted to analyze the top ranking pages and extracted 100 relevant links. Perfect. YouTube videos, excellent. And I think I just turned everything on when I did the articles. I turned everything on here. I think I use this for one and not the others. And I changed the point of view up as well, just to get the articles up. But you click create article, and it was very fast. It was very smooth. Okay, really, really nice flow to it. So I'm just going to go open up the articles I created now, and let's go with sustainable gardening tips for beginners. Again, really nice image, great title, growing trend, perfect. Okay, I don't want to see today's gardening world or whatever. Human-like content, key takeaways, YouTube videos, perfect. Okay, going down now. Again, another great image. More YouTube videos, just excellent. Okay, so and we also have here polish. So if we want to click this, we can actually polish the article by using the AI. So again, we're using AI to improve things. Reduce repetition, excellent. Remove mid-table article conclusions, excellent. Split the paragraphs up, okay? These are really, really useful tools to have in an AI writer, okay? And in terms of the SEO scores and the readability, Koala absolutely knocked it out of the park. It was outright first for the first article, gardening. In fact, it was the only AI writer on the list to get above an 80 score on any of the articles, with a readability score of 6, so might even been too simple, right? But we love that. Really, really good 63 on the second article, with a readability of 9, perfect, and an outstanding 74 on the third article, with a readability score of 10, again outstanding. So it was strong across the board, both in terms of SEO optimization and also on readability. So you can't really fault it at all. If I had a bone to pick with Koala, it would be it lacks some like agency type features, like you would see on a Surfer, a Phrase, a ScaleNet, a Writesonic, etc. But I mean, look, it's not marketing towards that, I don't think. I think this tool is great for SEO. It's definitely excellent at writing blogs, readability, SEO scores. I mean, agencies can absolutely use this, right? Paste it into whatever content optimizer they're using, and away they go. So overall, yeah, there really wasn't much to dislike about Koala. In terms of the pricing, I think it's really flexible. So it starts at $9. You don't get much for the $9 though. I think the plans start really at $49, because you can get the AI powered editing and everything else as well. So yeah, awesome. So yeah, I mean, like I say, I would definitely recommend Koala Writer, and scored strongly in every area, so why not? And number 1 on this list, which combined both the SEO scores, the readabilities, and how much I enjoyed using the platform and how useful I thought it was, is Journalist or Journalist AI. Journalist SEO writer that auto-publishes to your blog. So it's the best auto-blogger on this list, okay? And if you go to their website, they're very much about auto-blogging, but definitely more than just an AI writer. In terms of the SEO scores, they scored really well, 73 on the first article with perfect 9 readability, 69 on the second article, which was the outright first. It was the highest score for the second article with, again, almost perfect readability of 8. And on the third article, 69, very respectable or very good again, with a readability of 6, which, for the VPN articles, I think was the simplest one there. So in terms of the SEO scores, I believe it was joint third overall with Surfer, just behind Junior and just behind Koala as well. But in terms of the readabilities, it was number 1 or number 2 as well. But I loved using Journalist AI, okay? For me, it was strong across the board. It was super easy to use. For example, we've got SEO articles, news articles, Amazon product reviews. And if I want to click and generate an SEO article, I just simply put in a keyword and a title. I'll do another one, do another one, do another one, or I can upload my CSV of keywords, and then it would just simply use the AI, analyze the SERPs, generate the outline, and get your articles, okay? So I've been using this a lot. This is an article I made before on how to bake bread, okay? So we've got the table of contents, key takeaways, intro. Baking bread at home is a fun and rewarding activity that anyone can try, okay? No, in today's bread bakery filled world, all right? I love to see that. YouTube videos, excellent. It's one of the best as well, in my opinion, at doing the internal and external links, okay? So I've not got any internal articles linked to this. But say, for example, as well, if I wanted to turn these on at the campaign level or for the auto blogging, it would take care of everything. But I love this, very similar to Junior. You highlight your article, and then you can use the AI to simply rewrite this article in whichever way you want. You can make it into a list, you can make it longer, make it shorter, you can add additional keywords, and this is absolute money right here. No internal, because I not got any internal articles linked, but if I click on add external links here, it will simply, the AI will go ahead and find fact-checked cited links, so I can bang, put right in there like that. Super, super easy. Say I wanted to put in an image here, like we can do this, placeholder image, and then I can let journalist AI generate an AI image. So let's generate an image here, and hopefully it's going to get something very appetizing for me from the AI images. But yeah, it was just good in every single area, and there we go, we've got our image. So for me, yeah, this was, I mean, there's very little to choose between journalist and koala and junior and SEO writing, some of the top ones. But for me, this is one I thought was the easiest. Had the combination of the best readability, really almost the best SEO scores, really good AI SEO editor, the best auto blogger, and does everything we wanted to here. Outlines, SERP analysis, automatically does all these from a campaign level, and we can use the AI to edit it too. So for me, journalist was the number one. Just finally, I'm just taking a look at one of the articles, from the SEO score 73. Why does it have a readability of 9? Perfect. I mean, look at this. Oops. If you're just starting out with gardening and want to do it in a way that's good for the planet, you're in the right place. Perfect intro, right? As human-like as it gets. Sustainable gardening might sound like a big deal, but it's really about making simple choices. Very human-like content, okay, guys? So if you want to put this kind of content in front of clients, then you'd be happy to do that straight off the bat. So for me, again, that's probably another reason why I rate this platform so highly, because it's just strong across the board. Human-like content. This really kind of has like no weaknesses. So yeah, that's why I'm happy to put journalist as number one. And just to expand a little bit about why this is the best auto blogger on the list, one of the reasons is this feature here. So if we click on blog automation, go to feeds. So what feeds is, it's really awesome, okay? What it does is it sets up a feed that tracks your competitors' keywords. So when they start ranking for keywords, it'll appear in your feed. Now, if you connect it to the auto blogging system inside Journalist, every time that happens, it'll produce a piece of content to target that keyword. It's like a cheat code for SEO, okay? As soon as your competitors are out there ranking for keywords, you start putting out content for that too, okay? It's really awesome. So you can create a feed like this, set up a keyword feed. So I just done a dummy one earlier for gardening, and we can see already it's given me. So how I set it up was I put in a website URL, Epic Gardening. That's obviously not mine. I put in some seed keywords. So basically, you enter in your seed keywords, and all the keywords that the feed generates are based off these seed keywords. And then I entered in a few competitors, okay? And obviously you can put in as many competitors as you want, okay? And then save it. And then basically what it does, it comes up with all the different keywords, the volumes, and the keyword difficulties, okay? And there's a couple of pages, 2 pages of results here to get started with. And you can go ahead and you can click and you can remove the ones you don't want to generate content for. Now, Steve, what if what happens when you run out of keywords, right? Well, this doesn't. Every 48 hours, it refreshes, okay? And you can obviously update it with more seed keywords, update it with more competitors, is up to you. But look how awesome this is, okay? So we connect this up to, so I'm going to say, we'll do this one here. Click on gardening blog, did it earlier. And basically, this is set up to go with that feed. So here we go, feed gardening competition. And it's going to auto blog, generate articles from the feed, from the keywords generated by the feed. So we set the interval, how many pieces of content or how often articles should be generated, okay? Every day, every week, every 2 days, articles per batch, all right? And then we can also set up article preferences. So look at all the customization options you have here, okay? In terms of content, your target country, your point of view, your tone of voice, your formality. You can even upload your knowledge base, okay? So you can actually take your website materials, your social media, any documents you have, and the Journalist AI itself will train it on them, okay? It's really awesome. Of course, formatting, structure of the articles, you can put your own CTAs in, etc. However long your article to be, pretty standard, okay? But the internal and external linking here can be done from a campaign level at an auto blogging level, and you can change the settings for that, okay? Add external sources if you want, and then also from a campaign level, add the images as well. And they use, I think it's DALL-E 3 to generate images, or you can use stock images, it's up to you. And of course, YouTube videos, okay? So going back to what I talked about at the beginning of the video, okay? The process I want to see from an AI writer. Keywords, SERP Analysis, okay, and auto login features such as this. So it's far and away the best auto blogger that I have found, okay, because not only can you just do everything you want to do with auto blogging with AI SEO, you can also have it steal your competitors' traffic as well. It's like a cheat code. It's awesome. So hopefully you can see that from here, from this video. So there you have it. Hopefully by now you have a good idea about which AI writers are good and which ones are not so much. Ultimately, there is no best AI writer. It comes down to which is the best one for you and your needs. My personal favorite on the list was Journalist AI, and I have managed to secure an exclusive discount if you decide to try it out. Although you get the first 3 articles free anyway, so there you go. I will get a small kickback in return if you do decide to use the link in my description, but I just want to say at this point, a big thank you for watching my video. What I will say before ending is that the competition was very strong at the top and there was very little to separate some of the platform writers. In my opinion, Journalist and Koala were the best for niche sites, for bloggers and for SEOs, and that was also reflected in the SEO scores and readability. Junior AI completely took me by surprise and is definitely one to watch for the future. If you're part of an SEO team or a marketing agency and you have the budget, Surfer, Phrase and Scaler have all the tools that you need. Hypotenuse is probably your best bet if you're into ecom and you need to update lots of product descriptions at once. Blaze was super fun to use and is a great choice to go with if you want to do lots of social media writing away from SEO. And if you're on a really tight budget, then SEO writing might be the one for you. Do let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this video, and if you have any comments at all about each individual writer, I'm happy to address any kind of questions or concerns on each one. And lastly, don't forget to sign up to the Next Gen AI newsletter in the description below. I send out 1 issue a week and you'll get all my prompts and tricks and AI related stuff in there. Look out for that one. And that's it. So it's Steve from Next Gen AI, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much. Now, just one last thing before I go, I promise. I actually went away and told the guys at Journalist AI that they finished first in this test, and obviously they were super stoked about the result. So they've done something that they've never done before, and they've actually given me an exclusive 50% off your first monthly subscription with Journalist AI, okay? They've never done that before. I'm the only person who's got that. If you use the code Stephen at checkout, all right, you get 50% off your first month, and you're already getting the best AI writer on the market, okay, in my opinion, and now you're getting a 50% discount. Pretty good, right? They've also told me that anyone who signs up through my link will also get a one-to-one onboarding call with the team to discuss your SEO plan and your needs, okay? So guys, it's a really great offer, and like I say, if you watched the video all the way through, well done, thank you very much. And hopefully this offer will sweeten the deal for you. This video has taken a long time to make, so I would really appreciate if you do decide to test out the best AI writer out there, if you do go through my link below and use the code Stephen. I will get a small kickback, but any support is greatly appreciated, but of course not expected. Finally, definitely go in this time, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.